Today we're making Kibbeh nevelsiye. Kibbeh in Arabic is basically a dough stuffed with something. And it's usually stuffed with some kind of a meat mixture, but it could also be stuffed with a fish mixture or a vegetable mixture. So you might see vegetarian kibbeh if you go into a Middle East restaurant. To make the dough for Kibbeh nevelsiye, which is a torpedo-shaped kibbeh that's deep fried, you start with bulgur dough, about 2 pounds of bulgur dough or 4 cups. What I've done here is I've mixed it with 2 cups of warm water and I allowed it to sit for a half an hour. It's very important when you're working with bulgur dough, bulgur wheat, that you follow the recipe exactly. Allowing the bulgur dough to sit for a half hour allows it to soak up the moisture of the water. The second step in making the dough is to mix it with salt and 4 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Two, 3, 4. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just mix that in so that it's fully absorbed. And I'm going to use my hands because I find that I really get to the bottom and it mixes really, really well. Now I'm going to allow this to sit for about 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes it should sit. And this allows me to, I use that time to prepare the rest of the ingredients, to prepare my machine, because now we're getting close to actually making it. This is the meat or the stuffing for kibbeh. When I make the stuffing for the kibbeh, it's very important that you do this a day ahead of time. What I've done here is I've taken 3 pounds of lean chopped meat, lean ground meat, and I've browned the meat with 3 onions, 3 large chopped onions. It's very important when you're browning the meat that you brown it completely and that you break up all of the little pieces into small pieces so that when you're actually cooking it, you have no lumps. And then what you'll find the next day is you'll still have lumps. So for example, I see this little lump. I need to break this up because when you're making the kibbeh and you're actually stuffing it, it's important that there be no lumps in the meat. The next day when you're preparing to make it, what you'll do is you'll add salt, pepper, and allspice to the meat mixture along with nuts. I like to use pine nuts. Pine nuts are very, very traditional in cooking kibbeh and they add a lot of flavor to it. And so then I just mix up the meat. I feel it to make sure that all of the little lumps are gone and that there's absolutely no moisture left. In fact, when you're cooking this the day before, what's really, really important is to make sure that it's sizzling, that there's absolutely no liquid left in your skillet as you're browning the meat. So now we're ready to use this meat to make and stuff our kibbeh.